The other is keep in mind while you're there. It's for learning how to do this stuff in a future career. So don't let anything else get in the way of that. Don't stress. Don't worry about the one question or the one test or the one project. Just did I learn the concept, right? And I think that's another major thing. I would much rather get a B and learn than get an A and not know how to do anything. So don't be afraid of the hard professor and all those kind of things. Now you might have numbers you have to hit to keep a scholarship or something like that. Make sure that all that keeps you in school. Make sure those things are satisfied. But for the most part, look at what's going to help you get to your end goal the fastest. And if your end goal is getting that degree and working in that industry or learning how to do that, be an engineer, then make sure you're taking classes, professors, and learning in that fashion. Right? You're not there to just check a box.
Yeah. It's interesting how like there's this disparity, or there's this like I find that when I talk to the engineers here, they struggle to find internships. But you were saying, I remember you were saying before I started that there's always jobs for engineers.
Tons of them. Tons of them.
Sorry?
Tons of them. Lots and lots of them. Yes.
Yeah.
And the
So
thing is, you may have to go find them because they're not published and they may not even know they need you. Like find a local company and that's doing something cool. Especially like remember I was saying go for those senior project days. Look for what companies are involved because a lot of times they sponsor a project or a class or a lab or something like that. See what schools are coming for career day and are always on campus and are always donating money. And maybe they've got a sign in the lab downstairs where they paid some money to build out a lab for you guys. And start hitting up the people that work at those companies. Make sure the recruiter knows you by name, even as a freshman, right? Because by the time you hit junior year, now they've seen you for 3 years and they're ready to hire you. You may have to go find those opportunities. Maybe you hit them up and go, hey, how do we get internship opportunities for everybody? And the other is to kind of champion one another, push each other to one of you go talk to one company, one of you go talk to the other company, and then report back to each other what you heard, right? That's a big one at the last school that I taught at is I got the kids to get together for like career days and they would all post the questions the interviewers were asking before the next guy came in for the interview. Now, initially, that sounds like a bad idea because you're giving your competition a leg up, but they were all doing it for each other because the school was more important than the individual person. So we all got to benefit from it, right? So now sometimes you get to come into an interview where you already know the questions ahead of time and you can absolutely rock it, right? So you're giving each other a chance and you're helping each other out. And that's why I say form your groups, form your teams, get together with each other. There was actually in mechanical engineering at Mississippi State University, there's a room that the alumni paid for and filled out. It's the mechanical engineering student room, and it's there just for the students, no professors. There's drinks, there's snacks, there's a place to warm up food, there's books, there's couches, there's a place to take a nap because we knew what it was like going through that, right? So we made
yeah,
sure that we left a legacy behind so that other people could come and always get together in their groups and their study groups. They always had a safe place to go in the building, right? So look, if you don't have that already in your major, help create those things. So what do you think so far? Has any engineering thing that you've learned, do you see any application in business?
we're learning thermodynamics and physics right now, and that's pretty interesting. Like thermal expansion and stuff. That's pretty cool. Like seeing,
So,
I like physics more than math because math is very. I feel like a robot. I feel like a calculator right now. We're doing matrices, and we're doing stuff that most calculators can do. Which, like, I guess it's important because you need to know how it works and stuff. But I find physics much more. Um,
okay, so that's an interesting point. So if you're having some trouble with that, go look for the classes that have that math as a prereq and go sit in that class for a minute. Go find somebody in the class and borrow their book for a minute. Because I never learned differential equations until I was sitting in my system dynamics class where we actually used them to model systems, and then it all made sense.
yeah,
But before then, it was just impossible math. It made no sense. It was a bunch of stupid Greek symbols. I had no idea what the hell was going on. But once I saw that it was modeling a suspension system for a car and the motion of it, oh, well, that made sense. So if you're having any difficulty with something that's going on in math, start asking the upperclassmen, where do you use this in your future classes?
Yeah.
And can I come sit with you for a few minutes and just show up to class?
Yeah. It's very easy to get your head down and not do much else other than study. But
Remember, you got 168 hours a week. You don't need that many to sleep. You're already training for some of them, so that's good. You're going to eat and you're going to take care of yourself, but then you have a shit ton of extra time. And
yeah.
remember, this is for you, so take advantage. Like, if you do end up interning, work late, read every book on the guy's desk, ask for extra things to do after hours, do stuff over the weekend, borrow the software license and learn how to run the CAD software over the weekend. Those are things for you as well. You guys will probably have labs maybe already where you're starting to do some CAD or modeling or analysis. Go on and get those software student licenses and start learning the software. If you have any downtime, learn how to run SolidWorks or Solid Edge or AutoCAD or any of those kind of programs, and just watch YouTube videos and just get up to speed real fast. You'll eventually have a graphics class or something you have to take, so you'll ace that, and it gives you a leg up on getting those co-op jobs because you already know how to run the software and you can do drawings and things for other engineers.
Do you have any advice on getting those internships later in the year?
Yeah, start to reach out. Start to figure out
Link.
where has everybody else gotten their internships and when do they end, right? So if you're looking, when would you start? Would it be summer, fall? Would it be next year?
It'd be this summer, so like
This
November-ish.
summer. And you're competing with everybody else who's going to wait till the last minute. So if you get out ahead of them, you have a better shot, right? The
Yeah, I
other,
guess
will they let you do them remotely? Like, can you work for companies that are not in New Zealand?
yeah, I don't know. Maybe.
I think that's a question that needs to be asked, right?
Yeah. Some are like half of them are practical and half of them are professional. And the
Sure.
professional ones are usually done later in the career because that's when you're more,
So when you
you know,
actually know how to do something, right?
yeah,
You also have to look at the company side of it. Like, why would they want you? Like, what can
yeah,
you do to help them, right? You also should look, someone's got data on your last 5 classes of graduates from your school and where they went to work. Maybe it's the career center, maybe it's your major. Sometimes the majors will have seniors report back after they've graduated, like how much are you making, where are you at, what obstacles are you facing, and they'll report that stuff back to you guys. See if anybody's got that data, and that might give you a hint for who actually hires and gives internships. Again, go back and start looking around with you. Who sponsors the lab? Who sponsors the senior projects? Who's at career day? Who's hiring people from your school? Like Kennesaw State here, there's several companies like Vanderlande and a few others that come hire all the graduates out of mechatronics. And there's a bunch of them that work there. That's another thing you can do also, Nico. Look on LinkedIn and just look for people who graduated from your school and where they're working. Because that's an easy connection, right?
yeah,
Hi, my name's Nico. Hey, I see you're an alum of this school. I'm going there now. Do you have any advice? Could I borrow you for 5 minutes? And on that call or that email or that LinkedIn message, ask them where they interned and could they help you find a spot, right?
yeah,
Alumni are very good about helping each other because someone helped them before. So don't break the chain. When you graduate one day, you need to reach back and cut a check to the university and show up for judging senior projects and all that kind of stuff.